that there is a list, which is not exhaustive, of things that we need to renounce. And as we read them through on the video, and they will appear on your screen, if you have been into any of these things, you should make a decision to renounce them, and that is to say you will never be involved again. Have you been into witchcraft of any description? Kabbalah, which is occult law, magic, not sleight of hand, that's not that common type of thing, but the use of supernatural power over natural forces. This is addendum 1. The blood subscriptions or blood pacts, spells, words or pattern of words with magical power, hex signs, black magic invoking hidden powers for bad ends, white magic invoking hidden powers for good ends, hypnosis, whether magical or medical, it's dangerous, mental suggestion, mesmerism, self-hypnosis, self-induced trance states, gypsy curses put on you, death, calamity, or injury, PK or parakinesis, control of objects by the power of the mind and will. TK or telekinesis moves objects around the room. Sometimes people get into things, the objects move around the room. All right, that's all of the occult, where instruments start to play or engines start. Do you carry an anchor? That's a cross with a ring top, used in satanic rites, and it's dangerous. Have you taken part with Ouija boards, planchette, that is glass on the table, seances, mediums, floating trumpets, disembodied voices, etc., or consulted people who have clairvoyance, that is the ability to see objects or events spontaneously and supernormally above the normal range of vision, that is second sight. People have second sight, they're able to tell you about things that are happening and so forth, or you try to get into that, you're getting into a spiritual realm that's not of God. Or clairaudience, that is an ability to hear voices and sounds supernormally. Spirited voices alleging to be that of dead people giving advice or warnings. Voices talking to you. Now, have you engaged in activities involving mind reading, ESP, extrasensory perception, mental telepathy, thought transference, dream interpretation, as with Edgar Cayce books? Have you been into fortune telling by palm reading, tea leaf readings, phrenology, reading of the character or one's future by confirmations of a person's skull, crystal ball, cartomancy using playing cards, tarot cards, that is 22 picture cards for fortune telling, handwriting analysis, numerology, reducing the letters of one's name to numbers, astrology and horoscopes, psychometry, telling fortunes by lifting or holding objects belonging to the inquirer. Have you tried or practiced divining, dowsing, witching for water, minerals, witching for water or for minerals or underground cables, or finding out the sex of an unborn child using a divining rod, a pendulum, a twig or a planchette? Also the use of the pendulum, divining rod or mechanical pendulum called a motoscope for diagnosing illness, and its treatments by colour therapy using coloured threads and screening using coppered coils. That's all wrong. Have you sought healing through magic practices using charms and charming for wart removal or death magic, where the names of the sickness plus a written spell is cast into a coffin or grave? Conjuration, that is summoning up a spirit by incantation. Any form of psychic healing, psychic surgery. We had a lot of that from the Philippines a while ago. Well, a lot of it was found to be fraudulent anyway. Concept therapy, the use of a trance condition. Clairsentience, that is the supernatural sense perception. Iridology. Have you participated in levitation, body lifting by demonic power? Table tipping, spirit knockings, rappings, or automatic spirit writing? Have you been involved in yoga, exercises and meditation? Karate, kung fu, aikido, judo, martial arts? I tell you, they are demonic. They are demonic. Oh, I see a lot of deliverance from young people, or by young people, by the power of God who've been into those martial arts. Out of the body astral travel, some people get into that. Have you been trusting in amulets, tiger's claws, shark's tooths, horseshoe over the door, mascots, gold earring, which is called a man, talisman, which is a magic picture, letters of occult protection, zodiac charms, birth dates to compensate for lack of faith in God? Pagan fetishes, objects charged with magical powers and carried about as a means of protection or luck, come in the same category. Pagan religious objects, relics and artifacts which have been used in pagan temples or pagan religious rites can be unknown to the owner, a focal point for evil influences in one's home, and should be burned. Omens, significant days, moon Nancy, chain letters, numerical symbolism and so on, exercise an occult, superstitious bondage over many lives and should be dealt with. Have you been into hallucinogenic drugs, LSD, heroin, marijuana, or sniffing thinners? Have you been into heavy acid rock? For example, Santana, Hendrix, Joplin, Deep Purple, Kiss, Black Sabbath, and there's so many more today. Jonathan Livingston Seagull soundtrack cult. Some paintings and posters done under hallucinogenic stimulus can be oppressive and evil. Have you visited pagan rites such as voodoo in the West Indies, Sing Sing in New Guinea, corroborees in Australia, firewalking in Fiji and India, Umbaha and Macumba in Brazil? Also, visits to show by Yuli Gara or Matthew Manning demonstrating psychic powers could be dangerous. Do you pursue occultic literature, such books as the 6th and 7th Book of Moses, the Book of Venus, The Other Side, The Greater World, pseudo-Christian works by Jacob Lorber and works by other authors like Edgar Cayce, Jean Dixon, Ruth Montgomery, Arthur Ford, Anton LaVey, Dennis Wheatley, Eckhart and Joanne Griever? Such books should be burned regardless of cost.
I hate you, Beelzebub. Eba balashunda, Ebaba, Ekalanda Catalanda, Ekalarandalamata balashunda, Eba babalakila rundalamata balashunda, Ekalamata, Akalata Kititikate, Ekatitimata, Ekalarindala,
I hate you!
Ebalashunda. Of course you do, you don't want to. You don't curse it. You don't curse it. Ekalama babalashunda kilimata, Ebabala, you cannot curse it. The blood of Jesus is over it. Kilometabala, off a teeth.
In my behind.
Yes, in your behind. Off it comes your behind, the behind. Ibabala.
My daughter.
Off the daughter. Ilabakalash and the Kedamata. Kalamata Palaha Katitimaka. Kalamata Palash and the Kititimakallash and the Hatakilakite. Ibababa, Ekalorinda. Akka, Akala Kalabala Rinda. Ekalarandalamada. Kalamata, Kilamata Palashunda, Ikala, Akala Katikita Badabakatella Rendalabata, Ibabala, Alamadakatidabakatelamata, Kalashunda, Kitimata, Ikalamata Bala Rendalama, Ibabala, Handa, Hekala, Ikabala Randaleva Kitila Shunda, Kalamata Pakalamata, Akatiti Kitia, Akalamata Palasha, Akalamata Palasha, Akalashunda, Ikalamata Palashunda, You're not going to kill her. You're not going to kill her. You've no right over the precious blood of Jesus. I'm standing here under the King of Kings demon. I'm standing here under the King of Kings, under the authority of Jesus Christ.